Okay, my name is Siobhan, and today we're going to do a workshop on how to occupy your children while you study. And how many of you guys in this room have children? All right, so you guys will be able to, give some information on how to handle that, and then the people that don't have children can take in the input, and maybe you guys have some great ideas that will help us also. So, first we're going to talk about, we have 4 strategies to keep interruptions to a minimum. One of the sources that I found said that you can have pre-made activities. One of the sources said that you can have a whole bunch of things in a drawer or a bucket that you can pull out kind of on a rainy day. Use a schedule. Give children a set time that you'll be able to be available to them. I'm all about planning. My daughter works well on planning. She doesn't do well on spur of the moment things. She needs structure definitely. So if I tell her I'm going to do something at 6, she will expect me to do it at 6. Build their love tanks, which I thought was kind of cute. Give them your total attention before you begin something. Don't begin something and be like, I'll get to you later. Do it ahead of time so that way they, feel that love beforehand. Teach them to occupy themselves and how to self-start projects. Madison does pretty well at that most of the time. She has things that she knows that she can do, and we've already went over, ahead of time. Have a hidden stash of stuff that you can pull out to entertain them, and that kind of goes back to the first one, the pre-made activities. So those were, that's funny, it says 4 strategies, but there's 5. If anybody else noticed that, I didn't until today. You guys all received a handout that has, I know you probably can't read it right there, but you all have this handout, and it goes through 110 different ways that you can keep your children busy without technology. I thought it was kind of interesting. Some of the things I would not let my child do alone. Washing a dog would be one of them, or painting, but there's a whole bunch of ideas on that. You can even use that on a rainy day, even if it wasn't for your, if you were studying. So I thought that was kind of interesting, and you can take that with you. If you need craft ideas, how many people have heard of Pinterest? Dre's giving the look like, what? Basically, this is a site that you can go on, and if you want to know how to do anything in the world, there's craft projects. If you want to cook something special, if you name it, it's probably on Pinterest, and somebody has done it, took a picture of it, told you how to do it. It's all there. So, and then some of the different ideas that I thought were kind of cute on there. I'm all about paper plates. They're cheap, and you can cut up a whole bunch of them, and it's only going to cost you a couple of bucks. But cutting different things out of paper plates, and then construction paper is not real expensive. Paper mache down at the bottom. If anybody's been to our office, we did a paper mache lion for the art walk, and Madison started it out. We had kind of a bad situation. One of the students told me that you could use a punch balloon. Does anybody know what that is, where you blow them up and then you make a horrible racket? Anyway, she told me you could use that. You cannot. Or you could not on the one we did, because it let all the air out before the newspaper dried, and we came in, Dory got to see something that looked like a deflated apple. So it was very, very, So anyways, we started the project all over again. So I recommend using a regular balloon, but if anybody needs any tips on that, you can go on Pinterest or just stop by the office. I like to talk about crafts. Making a bird feeder up there at the top. Painting, that second one there with the little bird, that's with beans, which Dory and I went to a Camp Optimist where we did a community service project, and in our project we did have kids, we had them draw something and then they placed the beans on there, right?
They could go pick, the beans were all up on the table, and they could go pick up whichever ones they wanted. They had like 20 different kinds.
Yeah.
And they drew something and then glued the beans on.
Yeah, and they had a great time.
It was fun.
I would recommend having some kind of tray or something I'm all about not making a mess when you're doing a project, because I don't want to clean one up. And if you're trying to save yourself time and be able to study, making a big mess is probably not the way to go. Using tin cans to make different things like wind chimes and stuff, I thought that was cute. Be careful, of course, that you get the can opener that doesn't leave the sharp edges. Let's see. Another paper plate. I thought that little thing up there at the top was cute, the little octopus, jellyfish thing. I thought that was kind of cute. And then I had never thought about using cereal. I thought that was a cute idea too. I don't know how that would work if you were going to plan on keeping it. I worry about ants. I don't know. But anyway, it was kind of cute, doing the little toilet paper tube things. And then painting in the snow. I think that paint in the snow said that you mix up Kool-Aid. And then they draw in the snow with Kool-Aid. So I would assume that you'd put it in like a, ketchup or mustard bottles. But, oh, that was a cute idea. And then I guess if you wanted to eat the snow when you're done, I don't recommend eating snow. But I guess it would taste good. Madison loves the melty beads. Once again, I recommend a try. And be sure that you have plenty of time that you're going to iron, because they take a long time to iron. We did them for Christmas last year. So all I did was iron. Snowflakes, I'm sure we've all made snowflakes and different wreaths and different things like that, little hands. Painting, I thought the little pizza idea was cute, using the cardboard and then cutting things out for it. Up there at the top left, I don't know if anybody else did this when they were in school, but you take a clothes hanger and you fold it out. You must go to the metal one, of course. Fold it into a circle, and then you cut trash bags, which your children will be cutting trash bags for a long time because you cut them in strips, which is a great busy project. They cut them in strips, and then you tie that one piece of trash bag onto the wreath, and you keep doing it. I mean, I'm serious. It's a ditty of a project. It takes them a long time. Madison made my mom one for Christmas, and it took her weeks. And it was a great project for her. She just cut them up while she was watching TV and did her thing. Put them in a Ziploc bag. And then when we were done, we didn't use a different color trash bags, but we did get glitter paint, red glitter paint, and spray it somewhere it's well ventilated, because it stunk up our garage for a long time. And then it has to air out for several days. So you can't just give that to somebody as a gift right after you spray it. And then we put a nice big red bow on it. It turned out super cute, and my mom and dad have it displayed proudly in their living room all year long. But that was a really cute idea, and that keeps them super busy. And if you're going to do it for Christmas, I would so recommend starting that now, because it does. And like if you get the smelly trash bags, we got the vanilla ones, they really smell good, before you spray paint them. So that's the end of my PowerPoint, and now we are going to get to have a group discussion and share with each other what, tips and tricks that you guys have, or, different things that you don't find good, or different ideas that Dre or Shawnee's might have for us. Who wants to start?
Well, I got 3-year-old nieces and a 2-year-old nephew. While studying, put it on Dora.
Dora the Explorer.
Dora Diego.
I agree with Dre. I have little cousins, and I have a goddaughter, and I get my goddaughter every time I go home, and she just turned 3. And Netflix is the best thing to ever be invented. The Netflix just for kids, that, and then the Wii. I have coloring books, and then we do a lot of baking. I can study and bake at the same time, because she knows the majority of everything. I just have to help her. Of course, I put in the oven, but everything else she does that, baking all the time.
Anybody else have any ideas? You don't have to go in order unless you want to, but totally up to you.
I have an older child. My oldest one is 12, and then I have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old, and my 12-year-old is old enough that with his homework on some of it, he helps read and preoccupies their reading and their homework, which helps me out because I'm a single mom, 3 kids. So my older son helps a lot with preoccupying them, getting their homework done on sporadic small stuff, and I still get mine done in increments, not all at once, but in spacing, so that helps.
We've got 2 girls, a 12-year-old and a 10-year-old, and we usually try to get most of our work done at school, so that way we do have our time at home to spend with them. But if there is something that we need to get done, usually they'll either be doing their homework, or they'll be cleaning their bedrooms, or they like to play soccer, so they'll play outside with each other. They'll practice soccer. That's usually what we do. What she said.
I have a 4 and a 7-year-old, boy and girl. I usually hit up like the Dollar Tree or Dollar General and find like those foam, just like little foam characters, I guess you could say. It comes in like lizards or cars or numbers or letters. And I'm like, here's a glue stick. Have fun. Just don't put them on the walls. I'm one of those moms that I want my kids to be creative as long as it's in their room. Like their walls are every different color, crayon, marker, colored pencil, and I'm like, just don't come out of your room with it, and I don't care. Some of it, I don't see how they got upset high, but I'm like, okay. I have 5 acres, so my kids can pretty much run outside everywhere they want and go out and pet their horse. As I just try to make little activities like that. My daughter really loves Barbie, so she has a crap ton of Barbie movies, which drive me insane. My son loves Transformers, and I can deal with that. And I don't know. Sometimes it's hard because I work. So by the time I get home at 6 o'clock, it's dinner time, and trying to, like you said, give them the attention that they need in between that 2-hour span that they're still awake. Yeah. It's hard. But on the weekends, we try to do activities outside, or Mom will make it do something.
Well, I have a 6-year-old boy, and he's very needy because of what my ex-husband did to him, but he has a fascination with Ice Age. And he has a Elite Pad that I'm currently trying to get more games for, but he likes to make little cartoons on that thing. So it's a very good investment, actually, to have that toy.
My daughter had a Elite Pad, and I totally forgot about that, but that did keep her busy, and I like the Elite Pads too because it's also learning.
Yes.
You know, I'm all about learning, and to go back on your thing of drawing on the walls, you're a good mom. I can't.
I will take you a picture of their room.
I cannot imagine. Wow. That is creative though, and I have seen that where people, let them.
I mean, it's ventured out into the hallway, but I'm like, you better not go any farther. I'm like, because you will be using the magic eraser.
Yeah.
4 and 7.
Yeah, that's I remember those ages. My youngest is 12, so getting her occupied is not so hard. But when she was younger, it was easier to occupy her with her sitting by me with a coloring book and crayons, or just, she likes to draw, so just blank pieces of paper with either crayons and markers or whatever. And I found it was easier for me to study with her beside me, so then I know she doesn't get carried away. And then she's not coming in there and saying, Mom, look at this 1,500 times in a half an hour. So sometimes it's just easier to have them right there by you when you're doing it, so that they're not, I don't know, I guess they feel like, she felt like she was spending time with me while she was doing it, so it just made it a little easier for me.
It's a good idea. My daughter's 12, I keep saying that, but she's 12. We should have we've got a 12-year-old support group going here. But when she was younger, I remember one day, Dr. Walker, I said I couldn't come to class, and he's like, no, bring her. And I thought, oh, man. But that's when I learned that anything that man said, she had it written down. He was writing notes off the board, she was doing it too. And since then, she's 12 now, so she's not so much into it. But, she would, take notes or, look at some of my books. If I was using one book, she would look at another book. And then when we were done, because we didn't do it during the time, we would kind of switch notes, and she would get to see what I've done. And so it was kind of a neat thing. And then she did, learn different things. And she's all about the learning. And, the other day she told me that, did you know that a cat can jump 5 times the length of its tail? Very
My daughter
important.
does that too.
I don't know where that came from, but it's important. I don't know if you guys noticed, but on your table you've got these little things that are colorful that look like little pom-poms. We were discussing this before everybody got here, and when I was a kid, we went to Parks and Recreation. I don't even know if they have that anymore, but you went to the park and you went on the pavilion and they had all kinds of activities for you there, and I think we went certain days of the week. Anyway, one of the activities we did was making these little pom-pom things, and I remember, it's just string and yarn is not that expensive, but we played with that silly thing for hours, and my grandma lost a lot of yarn because we had families, we just did all kinds of stuff, and this is kind of funny. Madison came to work with me one day, and she was in there, and I was actually making these. Oh, she was making the piñata. So we were making these, and she goes, "What is that?" And I was telling her about it, and she says, "Mom, that's dumb." I was like, okay. So I went on, and I was making the rest of them because it took a little while, and I turned around, and there she is. She took the thing, and she wrapped it around herself. She's like, "Look, it's an octopus." And I was like, "Yep." And then she's got it wound up, and then she's letting it go down like a yo-yo. I'm like, "Yep." She took one home. And it's in the side of my car door, and she gets it out while we're driving. It made me flying through the air, it's doing all kinds of stuff. I'm always yelling at her. But, so anything, I just thought that was a neat way, and I know that a couple people have heard of that. But I thought it was a neat, cheap way. You can do all kinds of stuff like that to keep them busy, or creative, or just have fun, or totally pull it apart and have it all over your carpet. The cats love them. So,
My dog.
your dogs will probably eat
Well, I
it.
have one of them that's inside.
Oh, good.
Rubber band balls is fun too to make,
Huh?
and it takes a while. Rubber band balls.
Oh yeah.
My mom make them all the time. Like, she even do it at work. Like, I went home and she had like a whole bunch. I'm like, "Mom, this is getting outrageous." But like, I started making them, and it's so fun. She had like different colored rubber bands and like different sizes, and she make them like big. And
That's a good idea.
yeah, rubber band balls is fun to make. You bounce and stuff. The bouncing thing, okay, but making them is fun.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I might try that.
Huh? Yeah. You want something? You're right.
You need to start getting her doing the little bracelets, the little string bracelets.
Yeah,
I used to do that too.
Bethany likes doing those.
she does those. I grew up doing those.
I did
I
too.
think part of my carpal tunnel, I'm dedicating it to those silly bracelets. I sold them many times, and I still make them. But she crochets, like she's real big into crocheting, and I can crochet, but she likes to knit, which if she gets off, I can't get her into that because I don't know what to do. But those bracelets are really fun, and that stuff's really cheap too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have kits for that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Take the anger out.
Yeah, just buy the different colors. And,
I mean, I can remember when they just started out just being, the little one, and then now you can do the
You can do
designs and stuff, all
designs
kinds of
and
stuff.
Yeah.
I'll try to show you.
I got some.
any other ideas?
Puzzles.
Puzzles?
Got to.
Yeah, puzzles.
The
is
big
fun.
ones.
I don't know if anybody's seen them, but they have things now where you can lay it out and then do your puzzle on top and then roll it
Roll
up.
it up.
Yeah.
That's really
Yes.
nice. Madison has one of those, and that is super nice. 'Cause that way you're not leaving her. We have 2 cats, and puzzle pieces are great fun for cats. Then carrying them and use them and everything.